I'm not like a prepper or survivalist, or I don't have a military background. I like to camp, I like to overland. I think it's important to be self-sufficient, self-sustaining, you know, pack in, pack out, bring all you need kind of stuff, but not too much, unless you're like me and you bring too much. But today we're gonna be talking about, so I got the chance to meet with the guys from Fieldcraft Survival. It kind of started when I met Travis. I'd been following him on Instagram. We started talking about the supercharger thing, and then I met with some of his buddies from Fieldcraft Survival, or buddies or fellow coworker. I'm not really sure of the whole arrangement, but anyway, I got to meet with them, and they wanted to show me something that I thought was really, really awesome. The application for survival is clear, but for me, you start talking my language whenever you start talking about like dad stuff, you know, because I have a bunch of kids, and that's super relevant. There's dust everywhere. It's crazy how dusty this area is. And Mike, you remember Travis? You just saw him?
Hi. No, I'm just kidding. What's going on, guys?
So I've got Mike here with Team Fieldcraft?
Yeah, Fieldcraft Survival.
Or Fieldcraft Survival. He's got something that he hasn't really shown a whole lot of people yet, but he asked me if I wanted to see it, and I said yes. And I think you're gonna like it, so let's check it out. Mike, it's nice to have you on the Swell Runner show today.
Yeah, nice to meet you, man. Thanks for allowing me to do this.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
Show us what you got.
Hey man, so you know, me and Kurt and Travis and everybody that are involved with Fieldcraft Survival, we own a survival company, so we teach everyday carry, everyday mobility, upgrading your situation. And what we looked at is some significant problems that we saw in translating special operations way of rolling, basically overland and downrange, and how it translates into civilian world. And a lot of the training that we teach, a lot of the mindset, a lot of the things that we do in equipment, we use that premise, which is, hey, we had a lot of experience in austere environments. How does that apply to the civilian sector? Some of it doesn't translate at all, obviously, but some of it does translate. And what we saw is that, you know, everybody runs a panel on the back of their overland or off-road rigs. Panels typically use MOLLE, which is this attachment point right here. And the challenge with MOLLE is the fact that when you weave in and out of MOLLE material nylon and then you attach it or adhere it, it's permanent. It's never going to go away. And if you need the access to the equipment that's in it, let's say this is a MOLLE attached trauma bag and it has medical equipment in it, like a tourniquet. Well, the first thing you would do is you would go back here and you would unzip it, and then you would access that material to get to it. If it was more robust of a situation, let's say it's a disaster like a car accident, there's more significant issues, you would have to reach in here and pull all the contents and move with those contents outside of a pouch to wherever the disaster is. So what we did is, number one is we use a typical panel pouch assembly, and we use Velcro, obviously, instead of the MOLLE. We still retain the MOLLE on the center point of this because a lot of people still have the bags and all the accessories, but we wanted to be able to rip away all the accessory pouches. We also made these pouches larger. We also determined that, you know, when you're, let's say you want to go hiking, or let's say you run into a disaster situation where, hey, you roll up on a traffic scene and there's a wildfire that's pushing across the highway. This stuff happens all the time. It happens in the wintertime, happens in really every season across America, geographically oriented. It depends on where you're at in the world. It could affect how you operate. So what we realized is, like, if you have a whole bunch of cool equipment here, let's say you have a survival kit, let's say you have a trauma kit, let's say you have a whole bunch of accessories. Well, how are you going to retain this equipment if you have to, you know, bug out from this vehicle? Well, it's going to be difficult to do, right? You have to take all these contents out, you have to cross-load them into a backpack, and then you have to roll out. See on the bottom side of here, what we did was we put a metal buckle and retain the outside of the bag. So watch this, it comes out, it folds up neatly, and then it breaks open, and then you can reattach it here. One is you could roll with it that way. That's kind of like a low vis, right? You're not, let's say you're in a Jeep and it's a bucket seat, you have the top down, and you're in the desert. You don't want all the dirt and stuff obscuring all the stuff. Well, now it's covered and concealed, but let's say if you want to blow out, you basically detach here, detach on the bottom, and now you have this neat minimalist backpack that you can move on the fly. What we did with Burst USA in Chicago, this is all USA made, is we basically made a minimalist backpack where it's all flat and all runs with the lines, and there's nothing impeding your ability to get this and move out fast. We decided to only use nylon and the adjustable straps so you could ditch this really fast and go with metal buckles all the way around because it just lasts longer. This is all basically nylon. It's patent pending, and this is something that we truly believe will change kind of like the overland utility game. Now, one last point is, you know, this doesn't have to be for somebody who's just into off-road, overlanding, the tactician. This could actually be for the soccer mom. You know, your kid's sitting here, you need to change your kid's diapers on the back tailgate of the vehicle. You pull this pouch off, you access the diapers and all the accessories, you come back to it when you're done and you put it here. You go to the park, and let's say you're taking your kid to the park, well, you attach the bag component of it, detach it, put it on your back, and now you can take your accessories for your kids to the park, manage everything that's going on, and then reattach it relatively fast. So we hope this, you know, we're dropping it this week. By the time you guys see this, probably it's going to be available. It's going to be a pre-order sale between 300 and 500, and we're doing the first line of it in black multicam, and then we'll offer it in tan, black, all the standard colors of overlanding and off-roading. We hope you guys get something out of it.
It's pretty sweet.
You like
he's
it?
talking my language. He's saying like diapers and moms and all that stuff.
Goldfish.
Yeah, goldfish. There you go. That's pretty awesome. I really, really appreciate your time and showing us that.
Thank you very much.
And for you guys, I'm sure there'll be a link in the description or somewhere on the screen, or maybe right here on where you can pick one of these things up. And in the meantime, my name's Jason, and this is Mike, and that was with Fieldcraft Survival.
Yep. Thank you, guys.